The Boston Bruins are a weird team. Throughout the season, they have been a very streaky team, and I don't know what to make out of it. But before I talk about the Bruins, let's give a big congratulations to the men's and women's USA hockey team for winning gold in the Olympics. I must apologize to Jack Hughes because I wasn't the biggest fan of his game this whole tournament. That's on me. Of course, the Bruins player that won the medals, that's gold medalist Charlie McAvoy and Jeremy Swayman. Also congrats to Henry Yokoharu and Jonas Korpisalo for winning bronze, and every Bruin that represented their country during the Olympics. It's always nice to see Bruins players succeed. Now back to the Bruins. Coming into the year, I was not expecting the Bruins to play well. I thought it would be similar to last season, where they'll show flashes of being a good team, but in reality, their record would be around 500. I thought their ceiling would be a wildcard team this year, and teams cannot overlook them when they see them on the schedule. They will play hard and make you pay if you took them lightly. I don't think they were a bad team coming into the year, but the Atlantic is so competitive. It's finally the bloodbath that we've been expecting for the past 5 years or so. It's just other teams got better in our division, so I assume the Bruins will be on the outside looking in. I would have been happy with another retool year, because I believe with the right moves, they can compete for the Stanley Cup in the next couple years or so. But with the offseason, their direction was clear on making the playoffs. I was not happy with the offseason moves, spending to the cap on bottom 6 guys that will block younger players from playing. And that Tanner Jeannot contract, it's pricey. The season started, and they are a streaky team. The Bruins will lose 3, win 4, lose 6, and then win 8 in a row. It was very up and down season. The growing pains were there with Marco Sturm's system, but when it works though, they look like a great team. The Bruins are scoring goals, and the power play is looking great. Pasta is putting up the points like usual, and Morgan Geeky, he can score goals. But the Bruins are actually getting depth scoring. It's a committee, and some guys are very streaky, but they're putting up points. Their fourth line has continued to play well, and they have to be one of the best fourth lines in the league. The defense is very hot and cold. The Bruins as a whole is allowing too many goals, and sometimes it is the goalie's fault, but I blame more of the D. The D-core has been hurt all year, but some guys that are playing, like Andrew Peak, he looks awful. Of course, with the Bruins and how they play, they take too many penalties, and the penalty kill is really bad. The penalties are a bit skewed, because when they're playing the Panthers or Lightning, the penalty minutes rack up. Regardless though, it's still not good. Coming out of the Olympic break, the Bruins currently hold the second wildcard spot. The Bruins have one of the tougher schedules, and there are teams behind them that if they get hot, they can leapfrog the Bruins and take that wildcard spot. There's always 1 or 2 teams that get really hot in the second half of the season, and we'll see if the Bruins could be one of those teams. The trade deadline is coming up real quick, and what should the Bruins do? It will be a very interesting trade deadline, because just like last year, it will probably be a buyer's market where teams are competing each other to load up, but I don't think teams will pay as much as they did last year for second and third liners. I love the deadline the Bruins had last year because they were able to capitalize on the buyer's market and sell high on players that weren't going to be on the team next year. Throughout the season, I wanted the Bruins to have a similar deadline. If guys like Middlestat, Arvidsson, Peak, or Korpisalo are getting calls on them and the value is good, they should take it. Even Pavel Zacha, if a team was willing to overpay for him, I would say take it. But now my mind has changed. The team is in a wildcard position, and what I want them to do is nothing. It sounds bad. It seems like I don't believe in the team, but I do think it would benefit them to know no one is moving at the deadline. It reassures the player, and they could just focus on the rest of the season. I want Don Sweeney and management to go in the locker room and say this is the team we're going forward with, and to continue their success is right here in the room. If any injuries happen, they can call up guys from Providence who, shout out to them, they're playing really well. That mentality and reassurance works for a competitive team, but not a team struggling that's outside the playoffs. They are in a playoff position, and they have the guys to make it. Of course, will the Bruins do that? I don't think so. If anything, they'll probably buy. The Bruins are always active at the trade deadline, and they always get their guy. I don't mind a soft buy. I do want them to keep their first round picks and not give up any prospects with potential. I don't want them to mortgage the future just to make the playoffs. I've seen some rumors and mock trades, and those trades are wild. I just don't see the same value. The only prospect I'm fine with moving on from is Fabian Lysell. It's clear that they've given up on him, and he might benefit on a different team. I like him personally. Offensively, he's great. His skating is what we need on this team, but I do understand defensively, he's not that great, and he does take plays off. The Bruins drafted him to be this offensive guy, and I bet he could play defense better than some of the forwards that are getting playing time. They keep trying to turn him into a player that he's not, and I believe if he got time with the team and play him in the top 6 role, he can see players like Pasta, Geeky, or McAvoy who are able to put up points, but they try defensively. If your best players are doing the dirty work, you will want to do the same, and he needs to see and experience that, and the only way is for him to get playing time. The Bruins will be buyers, but just don't give up everything for a guy that won't be on this team next year. The rest of the season will be tough. They have one of the hardest schedules, but I do think they'll make the playoffs. They gotta figure out this streakiness because the East is competitive. A 3 or 4 game losing streak could be a death sentence, especially if a team on the East gets hot. I don't think they're a Stanley Cup caliber team, but I'm a firm believer once you make it in the playoffs, anything can happen, especially in hockey. Even though at the beginning of the year I was on the boat of tanking and getting that top prospect, I can't be angry of the team I cheer for winning. I'm on the board now to try and make the playoffs, but don't mortgage the future just for a first or second round loss. I am a more pessimistic fan, but I just don't see that beating the top teams in a playoff series. Also, side note, switch back to the original intro for Behind the B. This new one's is buns. So that's my opinions on the Boston Bruins this year. Let me know your opinions on the team. What would you think will happen at the trade deadline? And what players should they go after? Let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and go Bruins.